Guys, you asked for it, so you will get it today. Today, we will do some more advanced stuff and we will learn how our expert advisor or MetaTrader can communicate with the internet. So what we will do here is actually we will write a really small program, but it's really cool. And it's not actually only about the program, but it's about communication like with the World Wide Web, which will give us a whole bunch of new possibilities. So we will write a program that can check a license on a server. So for example, if you plan to sell programs that you coded, you can then add a mechanism so the program, wherever you ship it, if it is connected to the internet, and luckily with trading programs, usually this is the case, then this program can check, for example, if the ID or the account number of your customer whom you send the program to, if this account number is on your server. So you always have full access to the licenses that you give out. For example, you can put a bunch of license numbers, like account numbers, for example, on your server. And if this client is, I don't know, not paying, if he is throwing insults at you, or if he is threatening you, then you can simply remove his account number from your server and he will no longer be able to use your program. Sounds pretty cool, huh? So let's start right away with opening or setting up our server. So of course, when you want a server, you have literally two options. You can use your own computer to function as a server, but this is something I would not recommend because in this case it has to be alive or running 24/7. So there are hosting providers for this solution. And of course, there are so many hosting providers, and you can pretty much choose any of the hosting providers who provides a FTP file transfer protocol server. We will go with webhost.com in this video because I just googled for free FTP server and I found this one. So let's go and start opening an account. And you don't have to choose this server or hosting provider. You can pretty much choose any hosting provider that offers you a FTP server. Maybe you want a bigger server, a stronger server, whatever. You can choose any hosting provider. But let's go here, and on this site you can find they have a free payment plan. Actually, I'm not sure if it's even a payment plan, if it's free. But yeah, you have this option, and you can see here we have one FTP account. And this is pretty much everything that is important for us. I mean, we have 300 megabyte storage, but I don't really care because our program that will just like respond to our server requests and send if there is a account number stored, it will be so small. So we don't care about the storage at this point. So let's just use this payment plan and let's click on sign up because it's always free, as they say here. Then you have to provide an email address that you want to use. So just use any email address and then enter a password that you want to use. So after putting your email and your password, you can click on sign up and then, I have to make sure that I'm not a robot. Wait, what do I have to do? Good. Next. Good. Next. Yes, success. I'm not a robot. I'm an actual human being. So if you are able to sign up and pass this really hard test, you should, okay, you get an email from them, which you have to check. And then probably I have to press in this email that I indeed want to open this web host server. There we go. I found an email in my login and I will click on verify email and this should do the job. So it will load a page. Probably I'm logged in now in the web host. Hello. And there's a guide which we will just simply go through. So we will have to use a website name and I can call this René Balke YouTube. Yeah, tutorials, maybe. You can choose whatever name you like. Otherwise, it will choose a auto-generated web name. Of course, with these free web hosts, you will usually have an extension. Like here we can see .webhostapp.com. And you cannot get this away unless you pick a paid plan. But for our purpose here, this is totally fine, I think. And if you want to upgrade, you can do this anyway at any point. And yeah, then I will choose a password and I will repeat this password. Once you did this, you can click on create, and this should create the website. And it's an actual website actually, so you also will have a website. It's a really ugly domain name, of course, with the webhost.com, but you could actually put up your own website here. But yeah, of course, this channel is not really about like how to build your own website, but it's more about programming. So we will mainly use the FTP server thing to, yeah, like put some files there and read it with our expert advisor. So yeah, let's just go through here. Let's choose WordPress and an administrator email. Just put your email and then you can click on continue. So this will install WordPress on your brand new website. Don't worry, we won't use this WordPress feature, but I think we will have to satisfy this guide or the setup here. So we will have access to our actual like the FTP things of that we want to use. So if you then registered or installed your WordPress correctly, then you have your own website. And if you never had a website, this is your first one. So you can open a new tab and you can go and type in the name of your new website. For me, this is Rene Balke YouTube tutorials .webhost.com.app, and boom, this is your website. I mean, it's not like super beautiful, but it's your own first website. Anyways, we don't want to use this, as I told you before. Like here on the web host like interface, and this is also where you can log in later on with your login credentials that you just defined before, you will find this files manager here. And this is exactly what we want to do, because if we click here, yeah, this will give us access to the files. Like for example, here are also the installed files for your WordPress installation. I think we could even delete them, but let's not do this. And then you want to go to this public_HTML folder, because this is the folder that is addressed first or loaded first when you try to like get data, or this automatically like addressed when you use the URL for your server here. So open this folder by double-clicking, for example, and then here on this, or just in this folder, I mean, there are a lot of files. Most of them start with WP, which means they are responsible for like how the WordPress page looks. We want to create a new file. So we go to new file and then we choose any name. You can, for example, choose test, and I want you to write test.php because we want to create a PHP script. Then you can click on create. And once you did this, somewhere here you should find the test or whatever name you chose PHP file. And if you click on this, you can now go to edit in the top menu here, and this will give you access to the file. Of course, it's empty, but not for long, because we will add a PHP script. And I will not explain like how to code in PHP, because in the first place, I'm not really good at it anyways. It's just I just always Google a lot when I work with PHP. But you can create a PHP file like this. Like this, I think. So you will write this like opening spike bracket, then the question mark, then you write PHP, and then in the end you have the question mark and the closing spiky bracket. And then you can add some PHP commands, like for example echo, and then you write something like hello from René. And then you end this statement with another a closing bracket and a semicolon. And if you click on save, it will automatically upload this to your server, because you now have your own server. And now if you go to a new tab again and you type in something like Rene Balke blah 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 webhost app /test.php. This is not what should happen. Hello from René. And I think this is really great, because now you can type in anything here pretty much. This is me again. And you can see you can now call this page whenever you want to get the message that is like given from this PHP file. Of course, we don't want to do this in the web browser, but in the MetaTrader 5. So let's jump over to our MetaTrader 5. In the MetaTrader 5, let's go to IDE and create a new project or a new expert advisor. Click on new in the upper left corner, expert advisor, and you choose any name like internet communication, and then you click on next, next, and finish. This will create a new expert advisor. I won't explain like what an expert advisor is in this tutorial because this is not really about it. But yeah, we will mainly just use the onInit function here because I just want to explain how to communicate with our server here. So what we want to do is we want to work with a web request function. And this is a predefined function. If we have a look at the documentation, which you can open by clicking on help MQL5 documentation, I think at this point I don't really have to explain the basics because if you're watching this video and you are an absolute beginner with MQL5 programming, you are completely wrong here because this is a little bit more advanced. So you can see this function sends a HTTP request to a specified server. Great, we do have a server, so let's do this. And we can have two different versions here. Yeah, I think let's just use the shorter one, right? Because it's probably easier. So we can go web request, and then you can see there are some methods, or there's a method requested first, and here you pretty much can choose between get and post, I think. Get means that you want to get data from a server. Post means you also want to get data from a server probably, but you want to give data to the server first. Let's start with a get method here. Then we have to add our URL, and this is pretty nice because we do have a URL. So let's go string URL, and this will be René Balke YouTube tutorials dot webhost app.com/test.php. Maybe I should have chosen a shorter name for the website. But yeah, put everything into quotation marks so the program knows it's a text. And then we will use this URL here as the URL. Then cookies. I think we could provide cookies. Oh wait, no, we are using the second method here. So headers. We could provide headers to this file, and this can be useful if you work with complex websites. Don't ask me anything. I'm not a server-side programmer. But what we can do is we don't want to use headers. So we will just create an empty string here pretty much. And I think, isn't it also here in the example here? Yeah, you will also find this example and you can read this. And here, of course, they also use null for the headers. So you don't have to provide headers if you don't want to. And all the headers here are just empty. So let's just, yeah, put some empty headers. So headers will be next, then timeout. How much time do you want to give your expert advisor to wait for a server response? Because the web request function, it will stop the processing of your expert advisor and it will wait for the response of the server first. But at a maximum of, let's say, 1000 milliseconds should be enough. Then we have the data post array. And this will be something that we will have to provide. So we will write a character array, which is called post. And this is what we will provide here. This is empty because for the gets, we do not really post anything usually, and we just want to get something. Then we will also have to add a character array for the result. This will be filled by the server with the result then. And these arrays are with characters, and characters are pretty much a small form of any text or a small data form of text, which you can then transfer to a string later on. We will do this. But yeah, again, don't ask me too much about this server-side stuff. I'm not the expert on it. But yeah, let's just provide this result array here because we want the data to be stored inside this array. And then we also have result headers. So we also need another string for this, string result headers, which we will provide as a last variable here. And if we compile, we should not see any errors, hopefully. And now let's go ahead and say, oh, also the web request function, it will return a return code or a server response code. And we should response store this in a variable because we want to check this later on. So let's also add a print statement here quickly where we say server response is, and then we just print the response, right? Response, like this. So, and also we want to print the text that we get in our result character array, right? And what you can do is function, you can say char array to string, and this function will take a character array and turn it into a string. So here, of course, we provide our results array, and the rest can be as it is here because we just want the default values. We just want to know what is written in this array. So if we compile this now and run the program, we will see it will send a request to our server. It is really this easy. So go to the MetaTrader 5. And yeah, again, don't forget to compile the program here, clicking on the compile button, otherwise it will not work. And then in your navigator, which is here, you can then go to Expert Advisors and you can go to Internet Communication, run it on any chart and click on OK. And in the expert journal, we will see server response is -1. This was not working, but we can fix this. And also what you can do is, you can add here, for example, some more information. And the error is, and then you get the last error from the MetaTrader 5. So if we run again, we will see an error message, which is 4014. So let's go to the MetaTrader editor again, go to errors, and let's see what this is. I mean, I already know it, but yeah. Function is not allowed for call. Okay, this is not really helping us a lot, but I can tell you what the problem is. Like, whenever you do these requests with a program, the MetaTrader wants to know if this domain where you send the request to, if it is safe. So what we've got to do is we take off complete like domain name here of our server, of the server pretty much, and then we go to the MetaTrader, we go to Tools, Options, and here you go to Expert Advisors and add a new URL that is safe. So you go René Balke YouTube Tutorials or whatever name you chose, .oowebhouse.com and webhouseapp.com, and then you click on OK. And now if we run the program again, Internet Communication, run it again, the error should no longer appear. So you can see, we get a request, but it's not really a beautiful request. But yeah, server response is 400 and the error is 0. But it was somehow a bad request. So we will have to fix this. Okay, I was able to fix this, and the fix is that you just have to add the HTTPS : / in front of the name of your URL. So until now it looked like this, but if you add HTTPS : / and compile again, then it should work. Also, to get this solution or to get an idea, I read the rep request function in the reference, and you should do this. It also explains, for example, what this 4014 error means, and everything is explained here in detail. But okay, now since we set up everything correctly, and let me run the program again, but we can already see it down here, it will now return the return code 200, which usually means that the request was successful, and we see hello from René. This is me again. Isn't this crazy? We now set up our own working server, and we can send requests to this server, and the server is alive all the time. We can address it from anywhere in the world, not only from Expert Advisors, but pretty much with any program we like, and it will give us a response. So whenever you feel lonely, you now have someone to talk to, and it's your own server. But yeah, I mean, I'm not here to fix your lonely issues. So what we want to do is we now want to get a little bit more complex program on the server. So let's go back to our program on the server. Let's open your MetaTrader, go to the test file or whatever name you chose, and go to edit. somewhere we should see edit. Yeah, edit. Okay, so it will load our file. And here, of course, we now do not only want to return this. So first of all, let's get rid of this line because we don't need it anymore. So now we want to create a new variable. And you can create variables with PHP using the $sign and then choose a name. We will choose the name account_number, and we will address or we will fill it with a post value. So what we want to do is we want to get the value $_post like this, and then in these squared brackets and with the quotation marks, we will get the name of the posted value. And in this case, it will be account number also. Once we did this, we can then end the line like this. This should work if there is a provided posted value. If not, then this will throw an error, which we can fix using this empty function on the posted value first to check if it is empty. So we will do pretty much the same thing and get the account number value from the posted values, but this time wrap it in this empty function to check if it is empty. And if it is empty, we want to store just an empty string inside of our account number here. And otherwise, we will store the value from the account number post value. And yeah, again, I will just explain how you can set up this program. I won't go into the PHP stuff here because it's not really what the channel is about. If you want to learn PHP, there are pretty much far better tutors for this. So then we want to create an array here, and we will call this valid accounts, for example. And in this array, we want to store some values. So we will use this array function here to create an array. And here we can now add all the account numbers, like for example, this account number. And then as a comment, you can always say which person this account belongs to. For example, René Balke. So let's now go like this first. This will of course not work because it's not my actual number, but yeah, we will see how the server responds. And then we can get the result here. Let's create another variable, and here we use the function in_array. And here we have to provide a value which will be our account number, which is stored in this variable here. And we will search for this account number in the valid accounts array. And you can do it like this. And that's pretty much it. So if this account number can be found in this array, it will be true. Otherwise, it will be false. So this is exactly what we want to check. So if result is true, then we want to echo something like just 200. Yeah, or we can say success, or let's print success. I mean, you can do whatever you want. No? And otherwise, else we want to go with echo failed. Okay, something like this. And this should be enough for our working program. So if we now go here and save this program and close, it's now saved. So if we now want to run the program here, it will probably not work. Wait, let me update this. This was still the old value. Oh, it works because we did not provide any post value. So now let's try to call this script on the server again from our program. So what we want to do, instead of using the get method now, we want to switch this to post, which means that we first of all want to post data to the server that the server can then work with. And this is the script that we just created on the server. And then it will give us something back. And this is like the echo that we just created. So what we want to do in our post character array, we now want to put some values, right? So actually what we want to do, first of all, we want to get the account number of this account. Account number. And it is account info integer account login. This will give us the account number of the account where the expert advisor is currently running in. And then we want to get the post data text. And this will be account underscore number is equal to, and then we just add integer to string the account number here. This is always the format that you use to post data to your server as post data. You write the name, and this is again, let's open this script here again on the server. This is the variable name or the post data name that the server will then try to read. So this has to be exactly like here, like account underscore number, because this is what the server expects from the post data. So if you set it up like this, we can now go ahead and say string to character array. So this will take a text string, and this will be our post text string, and it will put it into some character array. And this, of course, our post array. Then we also can define a starting position, which is 0. And yeah, we just want to use the whole array, so the whole text. And then as a code page, I'm not sure if we can use the standard code page, but I will go with UTF-8 here. You can also try the standard code page. I don't know if it works, but UTF-8 should definitely work. Okay, so if you set everything up like this, this will put the data in the post array. So now, since we are using the post method here, have data in our post array and still ask this URL or this script on this server here pretty much for a response. We can now compile the program again and see what happens. Yeah, now we get a warning, but we can say this is an integer value because it is. And now let's see what happens. Okay, the server response is 200 and the error is 0. So server request was successfully sent to the server, but still the message from the server, like this echo message from the server, is failed. Probably because the account number is not in the array, right? So let's fix this. Let's go here. Let's open the file again, the test file. And now let's say I put my actual account number of this account, which you can see in the MetaTrader here, which is 5130. Like this is my demo account, 2912. And I still know this is René Balke. And I could add multiple more numbers like this. Just add a comma, and then you can add the number of Peter Parker. You can add the account number of your dog. You can add the account number of client number 234 and another number. And make sure after the last number that you add, you don't put another comma, because otherwise it will not work and it will throw an error. And this could be client number, I don't know. Maybe you have a lot of clients like this. So these comments help you to later on, if the client is getting on your nerves, you can pretty much just delete this line. And from this moment on, if he requests the license from the server, it will respond failed instead of success. But yeah, let's now go and save and close this. And now we have a bunch of numbers in the array. For example, also my actual number of the account. So what happens if I remove the program and run the program again? Let's go internet communication, okay. And now it still failed. Okay, so now actually we have to check why this still fails. So to get an idea of what is going wrong, we can go ahead and edit our server script again, and we can say something like failed. And then we can say plus, and then we go account number underscore number plus was not found. Wait, no, it's not done like this in PHP. Use a dot instead of the plus. So let's now run our script again in our program in the MetaTrader and see what happens. So internet communication, and click on OK. And there is still the response 200, so the call was successful, but we failed. And it prints, doesn't print the whole echo statement here, but at least we get the account number, and this is actually the correct account number. So I don't really get why the response is still false, because this is indeed 51302912. 51302912. So it should be inside of the array. So the result of the in array should be true here, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, we will have to say specifically that this account number value here is an integer value, because right now he assumes it is a text because it's coming from this post value. But if we say it is an integer value indeed, then he will understand that he's searching for an integer value in this array. This is probably, I used this script before on my own server, but I think I use a different PHP version. And this can happen, there might be some differences. So you will have to Google sometimes if you have a problem. And yeah, so we can also delete this because it's not printed anyways. I don't really know. Probably also an issue with the PHP version. But if we save and close it like this now, and if we go back to our program here, and if we run the internet communication program again, we will see a success. And this is, I think, really cool. So in our program now, we could do all of this. And then we could say, for example, in our onInit function or in the onInit function of the program that you intend to sell, that you want to sell, you can check if result is equal to, oh wait, no, we need to get the string result first. So let's go result text, and let's say character array to string result, and then we can first of all print it here, result text, and then we can say if result text is equal to it's equal to or is unequal to success, then we want to give an alert. You are not allowed to use this program, bro, with an exclamation mark to make sure that we are serious here. And then you write return init failed. Something like this. So if we compile again, we should see that everything is still working just fine. So let me demonstrate this again. If I now remove the program, if I run it, everything's just working fine. And the user is able to use the program. But what happens if your customer, for example, does not want to pay the bills? Then you get angry and you might go to your server, and this is what we do now. You might open your file, you might search for the bad person here, and you simply remove him from the array. And if you save and close now, and the user tries to activate the program, and he's not expecting this, but if he clicks OK, boom, access denied. You're not allowed to use this program, bro. So you can see this is a really simple version. And also, like, if he's having any issues and if he has a problem, then you can also, and if he is normally allowed to use the program, you can ask him for the screenshot of the expert journal, because there will be some information and maybe you can use it to analyze the problem. But yeah, this is a really simple program to use your own server, which is always alive. You can access it from anywhere in the world, or any customer can. And you can easily manage the licenses of your customers, for example, on this server. And I think this is really great. Of course, you do not have to use a free server, which has a really ugly domain. And of course, the user will have to put this in his experts, like allowed URLs. So you might want to buy a paid plan, but there are also paid plans that are really cheap, and you will have your own URL then without this add-on, which is here like webhostapp.com. This is usually only for free plans. So yeah, this is how you can write a really simple license using a server. So you can always like manage the licenses of your customers, and if someone gets access to your program, you can just add his account number to the PHP file on the server. If someone is not paying, for example, you can remove the account number from the server, and the next time he tries to activate the program, it is simply denied. Perfect. Okay, so this is it. Thanks for watching. And one last thing, because I think the web request does not work in the tester. So let's check this quickly. This will be the last thing, but really important probably. If you try to use the program here, and we can just do this quickly, internet communication. So if I try to use this just in the current year to test this, it will probably fail because in the strategy tester, the web request function does not work. So let's check this out. And yeah, you can see it does not work. So to make sure that this is still working, you can add something like here, if what's the MQL info integer MQL tester? So you only want to check the license if the program is not used in the tester. So you can add rabbit and something like this. And if we compile again and start the tester again, this will make sure that the license is not checked in the strategy tester. So it's only checked if he wants to use it in a demo or a live account, like for real actual lifetime or real time trading. You know what I mean? Okay, sorry. So in the end, I hope this was helpful for you. I'm really curious about your feedback on this in the comments. Please let me know if you want to see more like this, like a little bit more advanced. You can also use this FTP server, for example, to write a trade copier. And this was requested sometimes. And yeah, if you really want to see this, I might show you how you can use the FTP server to copy trades like from one MetaTrader to another MetaTrader. And the MetaTraders do not even have to be on the same PC. Isn't this cool? Let me know if you want to see this. And yeah, in the end, thanks for watching. Have a great time. Good trades. Bye.